Hi everyone, and welcome to your June energy reading, okay? And as I always say, if you find this video after the month of June, that is okay because the messages can be timeless, all right? If you've stumbled across it, you've been drawn to it, then that means that there's probably a message from Spirit in there for you, okay? So don't worry about that. But we have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is vulnerability, pile 2 is new blueprints, and pile 3 is healing. So whatever topic here, whatever card or pile number calls to you, then that is the one you should go to. If you feel drawn to more than one, then by all means watch as many piles as you want. Okay, I will see you in your reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1 and this card, okay, or even the topic here, vulnerability, that's on it, all right? This is going to be your June energy reading. I'm just gonna set this to the side. Actually, I may bring it back in, but I think I have a lot of cards here, so I'm gonna need the whole area. So the first question in this spread, because I said I hadn't done it for a while, right, is a challenge you may face. And we have balance with Arcturus, okay? And I did tarot with them as well. 4 of Swords. All right. So this is all about, you know, if we actually even go with what's on the card here, rest, recovery, quiet. The 4 of Swords is taking that time out. I like to think of it, for the most part, it can just be rest and recovery, right? Like just to recoup. But also because it's swords, I like to say that it's a mental break as well, okay? So here's where the balance, this is the challenge that you may be facing, if you're not facing it already, pile 1, is finding that balance in your life. This tends to come out usually when Spirit is putting the message out that, you know what, you're doing too much, you're moving too fast, you're not taking a break, you're not showing yourself any compassion and care. It's just like go, go, go. All right. And they're strongly suggesting here that you need to take time for yourself. Absolutely. Even if you start small and, it's like I say with meditation, 5 minutes a day, just for yourself, where you can be by yourself, just with yourself. I said the other day in a reading, it was funny. I was talking about, even in the car, if you turn that radio off and you just spend the car ride home where you're not thinking about everybody else, what needs to be done, this, that, the other, where you just sit quietly with yourself as you drive, you would be amazed at what thoughts will pop into your head that, or just the fact that it's after work and you can just relax. Easier said than done for a lot, but I feel like this is the message that they're sending out. It's very clear here. You are or will be facing issues with finding that balance in your life. Now, it could also be regarding situations. You always have to look at these readings big picture, right? So it could be a situation, an event, a person where you need to find the balance too, okay? So it can be any one of those things coming in for you here. Now, let's go on to a positive energy for you to embrace, okay? And these are the Angels of Atlantis cards. These are my universe decks and I love them. And we have Archangel Haniel and integrity. So a positive energy to embrace is integrity. And I love that because isn't that about being honest, right? And doing what you say and admitting if you're wrong. And maybe these can be individual messages or they can tie back. Maybe that's what has to happen over here. You need to be honest with yourself, right? You need to make a plan and say, I'm going to take time for myself, and then you do what you say, all right? And, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong, but maybe admitting that you have been burning the candle at both ends, all right? Or, again, if this is a situation with that you're in or people that you're around, the same applies, right? So I really like that that has come out. Now, what came out with it? The Eight of Wands. Perfect. You know, this is just, when it's a positive energy to embrace, this is Spirit's message. See, I always with the Eight of Wands, and I love that this card depicts it. It's usually the 8 wands and they're all flying right in the same direction. But this, I always say, you take aim and fire, right? Or you take aim and shoot the arrow. This is, you make the plan in your life for wherever it is that you need to find this balance and take this rest, take this time out, and you do it. No ifs, ands, or buts, okay? You work it from a place of integrity. It's like, you know what? I'm doing this for myself. I'm saying I'm doing it for myself, and I need to do it because I know I need to admit that what's happening right now, and be honest with myself, it's not working well for me. In some cases, you could be, like I said, burning the candle at both ends and just worn out. So they want you to embrace this positive energy of integrity, okay? And they also want you to, well, it all goes hand in hand, but you make the plan, you go after it. Like I said, even if it's starting with 5 minutes a day. Okay, what is a negative or shadow energy to work on? Balance again. Okay, with the Hierophant. Okay, let me just put these out here. I may have to put the other row down. All right, so a negative or shadow energy to work on. Again, it's that shadow, it's that negative energy of holding you down. Not being able to find the balance is holding you back. Even though it may feel like you're moving, you're getting things done, it's holding you back in other areas of your life. Do you have time to take a break? No. Do you have time for friends? Do you even have a lot of time for your children, you could ask, right? Or your spouse or partner. So, and this is Libra, so this is about relationships, okay? So this is finding balance in the relationships in your life. Can it tie back to here? Absolutely. Can it tie to here? Are you being honest with the way those relationships in your life are actually working right now? You know, are you living, say, in a household? Like, are you passing on your morals and values to your children? Okay, that type of thing. So, and with the Hierophant, this is your opportunity to be the example, to be the teacher, okay, to be the one who is going to live with integrity, who's going to expand their knowledge, right? Who's going to be, I want to call it, a shining example for others, whether it's in your family or not. Because with Libra here, it can be any relationships, from work to partnerships in business or in whatever. You could partner up with anybody. You might have an exercise buddy, right? Like whatever it is. So just keep that in mind. This is talking about relationships more. This is just talking about in general, finding the balance in your life, the day to day. Okay. What do you need to make room for? And we have the Temple of Poseidon is the card, and I'll read the back. New beginnings. This card indicates that it is time for new beginnings. Maybe a new concept, idea, or pathway will be presented to you at a much higher level than anything you have previously considered. Therefore, it is suggested that you review every aspect of your life from a higher perspective. Be aware that people will look to you for guidance. Okay, I love that. So you are called on to act and speak selflessly and with utmost integrity. Be a guiding light to others. I love that we were just talking about that, okay? And with it is the Lovers. Oh, very interesting. I'm not going to say for so much that this is, a relationship. The Lover's card is about finding what it is that you love, finding a perfect partnership in whatever way. It could be, like I said, an exercise buddy. It could be a work partnership. It is all about, and I love that this card actually says, it's all about harmony and union, coming together. It could be you and your higher self, you and spirit, God, source, universe, whomever it is for you, right? Like this could really be you just finally, I want to say, with all of this balance, especially here, this is you finding that other part of yourself, the quiet part, okay? And being happy, all right? It's finding the balance, the harmony, the peace, okay? The love for yourself to take that time out. So that's what you need to make more room for, all right? I want to say self-love here, self-care, self-nurturing. Now, what do you need to avoid? This is Assyrians. Well, it's not artistic. That's it. Integrity, honesty. It's not that you need to avoid integrity and honesty. It ties right back into integrity here. You need to avoid not living with integrity. You need to avoid not being honest with yourself, right? You need to avoid not having strong moral values, strong ethical values or principles, right? When you're living with integrity, you're living and doing even when people aren't watching you, right? You're doing what you say, whether others are seeing you or not. But with these cards, these two sets here, I really do feel, pile one, like you are going to be a shining example here for others in some way. I just, it's clearly coming out here. So you want to have victory in this. You want to have victory in your life. Right? That's what the Six of Wands is. It's success. It's having conquered something, conquering the imbalance in your life, conquering not living with integrity, okay? So you want to have that victory, that glory, that triumph, that win. So this is Spirit's message saying, you know what? If you are willing to do the work in these areas, you will have success. We're going to help you. When we see you doing the work, the universe, spirit, whomever it is for you, they help you out. But they want to see you putting in an effort as well. And you can also call on them to help you. That's what they are there for. They want you to be successful in all areas of your life, pile one. They don't want to see you burning the candle at both ends. They don't want to see you not living true and honest to yourself. Not at all. So love that. Okay, and last card question we have is, what opportunity should you seize a hold of or grab a hold of? Now, again, this is going to be something like an opportunity as in with a person, within an organization, within a friendship group or a social group. It's going to be a situation or an event that's going to be in and around you. So we have Gaian awakening, preparing, relocation, ascension. I like that. With the Five of Wands. Okay. This is really nice. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit here. So what opportunity? I feel like it's all of them. If there is an event, a situation coming up, okay, whether, in whatever area, and you have an opportunity to prepare in advance, take the opportunity to prepare in advance, okay? Do not leave it to the last minute. I feel like this is a message. So whatever's going to be coming up, and it's going to be different for each of you. That's why I'm going to talk about each one. You may find that all three resonate. But if there is an opportunity for something that you're doing or something that you're planning to do, or somebody comes in and says, hey, let's do this. If there's an opportunity for you to prepare in advance, Spirit is saying prepare in advance. It's going to benefit you in the end. The other one, relocation. Maybe for some of you, if you have an opportunity to move, whether that's in home, whether that's because of work, whatever it may be, right? Maybe you just have an opportunity to get a better deal on an apartment or a house or a condo. Maybe you've always wanted to live on one coast or the other, or maybe you like living in the central of whatever country you live in. If you have a chance to relocate, if they bring you that opportunity, grab a hold of it, okay? The other is ascension. That is you rising up. That is you taking the opportunity. It kind of reminds me of the judgment card, right? Like you could call it, if you have an opportunity for ascension, to say rise above, to, awaken in the sense of your spirituality or religion. Don't pass it by. But it also can be ascension if you have the chance, and here it comes again, to stand out, to be the example. Don't pass that by, okay? Don't shy away from it. Stand in all your glory and integrity and go for it, all right? And what they want to say here with this Five of Wands card, because I love this Five of Wands card. It's actually quite pretty, but it does say competition, debate, defense. I always say that Five of Wands card is where they're just kind of play fighting, but a little bit serious, right? They're just kind of picking on one another, poking at one another. I always say ant at the picnic, bee in the soda, right? Just an annoyance. So while these opportunities may be coming into you, there could also be a little bit of disturbance, okay? Just be prepared for that. That's why you're getting this reading right now. You chose this pile. Just be prepared that there could be a little nitpicking. There could be someone or another situation that's brought to you where it's just going to be an annoyance. Just work through it, ignore it, swipe it, think of a fly, just like swoosh it away, right? You can't let it stop you from seizing these opportunities, pile one. Now, I like that this vulnerability card did come out for you to choose, right? Because I choose these after the piles are already created and I flip through and get them. But, being able to show vulnerability does not mean weakness. Okay, so maybe that's just another message for you that you need to hear, okay? Showing vulnerability is not showing weakness. Now, before we go, I have a couple of other cards I want to pull here just for further advice, guidance, clarification even. And I feel like vulnerability also is tying in here with the integrity, because allowing yourself to be vulnerable is being honest with yourself, right? It is. It's not a sign of weakness here. And maybe that's what keeps you in a state of imbalance here, because you just, I'm not weak. I need to keep going. You don't want to be vulnerable and say, you know what, I need a break. Your greatest joy pollinates the world. I love that. We talked about you being an example. So it can be in joy. Maybe that's what people will see from you. But whatever it is, because it can be this message right here, but I feel it ties in, because whatever it is that you're doing, it is going to pollinate the world. We talk all the time, or I know other readers do, and, other people that you may listen to on YouTube talks about, when you do an act of kindness, when you do something good, when you are putting out, you don't even have to be doing anything. You could just be sending out positive energy. Even though you don't see the effect with your eyes, it does ripple out. It does ripple out. And if everyone's doing it, it makes a huge difference in the vibration of our planet, okay? So, you know what? You do pollinate when you're sending out the joy and when you are happy and grateful and all of those things. Now, let's get one last card before you go, pile one. I love this reading for you. As I said, you can take these and tie them together. You may, you know, it may just be this set of cards for you. It could just be this set of cards, right? You take what fits your situation, what resonates with you, and you leave what doesn't. Because there's multiple people picking pile one. So there could be different sets of messages in here for different people, okay? Truth. We are talking about being honest, okay? See your light. Know your power. Have the courage to walk in your truth, to walk in integrity. I love the way that finished off, pile one. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Remember, I have tons of other videos. Go in and check out the playlist. If you feel drawn to one, regardless of when it was created, go and listen because maybe there's something in there for you. And I will have plenty of other. Check out your Zodiac Taroscope readings as well. You know what? I do 2 of them a month. And new moon and full moon for planting seeds to try to manifest and bring good things in. And also for releasing and letting go. Again, you can go check those all out. I will see you next time. Hi to those of you who chose pile 2, this card, New Blueprints. Okay, I'm just going to set this aside. We'll see if it ties in at the end. All right, and we're going to get right into your reading with Tarot and Oracle here. And just remember, again, that anytime you see this, it's for you, okay? And we're going to talk about the energies coming in and around you. We have different questions. I haven't done this spread in a while, so I'm excited to get back, and I'm using all my universe cards, which I love, my universe decks. Now, pile 2, what challenge may you face coming up here? It could be in situations, events with people, okay? It's going to be different for each one of you watching this. And remember, Spirit's message from my past few readings, it didn't matter what it was, okay? Look big picture. Look at your life big picture, okay? So, coming full circle. Coming full circle. Serious energy. All right, with strength. A challenge you may be facing. Are you having right now pile 2? Or it may be coming up for you, all right, in the next, few days, weeks. It can go out as far as 3 months, all right, because that's what I set the intention for. Are you having a hard time coming full circle, ending off a cycle in some area of your life? Okay, because it's a challenge here. It's something maybe that's difficult for you to close out. You have to have the strength to close out that cycle, to bring it to an end, right? It's come full circle. There isn't anything more to do or to say about it. It just is what it is. And that may be a challenge you're going to face. It could be with people. Okay, it could be with situations in your life. Is there something or with someone and it just keeps going around and around like the Ferris wheel and it's just not stopping? You just can't get off the ride. They're saying you need to get off the ride. You need to have the strength to stand up and the courage and the determination to tell the Ferris wheel operator to stop the ride so you can get off, okay? And really that's telling yourself. And, again, difficult to do, but it also could be, this might not be happening to you right now. You might be like, I have no idea what this would be. So it's going to be a situation that will be coming in and around you, or an event or a person where it's like, oh, I kind of thought that had already died off and it had been closed off, but no, here it is again. Okay, so when that happens, this is your message coming in from Spirit, God, Source, Universe, or whomever to shut it down, to come full circle and close it off. Okay. And I always say, you know, if it's with people, it doesn't mean that you may never see them again. That, I mean, for some of you, that may be what needs to happen. For others of you, it may just be you don't spend as much time with that person, okay? So never feel like, oh, I've got to close it up. I've got to cut them off completely. That's up to you, right? You know, trust your intuition, what the best thing to do in that situation or with that group or person is. All right. What is a positive energy for you to embrace? We have archangels or angels of Atlantis, and this is Archangel Raphael with Earth Force. Okay. And Justice. You need to embrace finding balance in your life, okay? I love here the card actually says balance equality. That's what the Justice card is, okay, right? They're holding the scales here. They have the sword of truth up. And it is, it's just finding the balance. And because we have it here with this Earth Force card, this is you finding stability. This is you being grounded. This is you not being up in the clouds or all over the place. This is you with 2 feet firmly planted on the ground. It's you finding the balance in your life. That is the positive energy that they want you to embrace. If you find that there's an area in your life where things are a bit frazzled or you feel imbalance, then that is where you want to start working. You want to start bringing in the positive energy of, you know what? I need to get this balanced out. I need to get this sorted out. You know what? I need to make a judgment on my own life here. I need to tell myself the truth so that I can get myself grounded and centered and just in a good place. But I really feel too like stability, right? And you know what? There's no better place to do it than in the great outdoors. For some of you, you love being near water, I'm sure. For some of you, you love being in the forest. Some of you, it's okay to just be out in your backyard or walking around a park or your neighborhood. And for others, it could be just rolling the window down and letting the fresh air blow in as you're driving. It'll be different for everyone. But take that time to just kind of get yourself grounded and centered again if things are maybe feeling I almost want to say like a teeter-totter, right? It's like things go up and then they go down and, it just keeps going back and forth. It'd be like that scale just doing this and never finding the balance. And think about it, buying groceries. We never want it to do that, right? You want it to balance out. So that is your message there. Now, negative or shadow energy to work on. Vows with the Magician. Oh, I love that because that's a pretty card. So this could be for some people. I feel like there's going to be a couple of messages in here. Vows, literally, we can take it as marriage vows, okay? Or if you have committed to someone in vow, I guess, or with vows, okay? It doesn't have to necessarily be marriage. There can be long-term partnerships and you've committed to one another. I feel like that may be something that needs to be worked on here, okay? It's time to take action on that here with the Magician. You have what it takes to work this out, okay? I want to even tie it back to if it's come full circle, then maybe it's come full circle. That will be for some people. For others, this could just be because this is a negative or shadow energy. And I always refer to it as, and this is my own personal opinion, so, it just is. It always hurts me, I think, when loved ones have someone promise to do something on their deathbed. That's a huge responsibility and weight that goes on to that person that is still living, usually a child. And more often than not, it's something that they don't really want to be responsible for or to have to do. So that could be a negative or shadow energy that you may need to be working on, where you go to, if it's your parents or whoever it may have been, and you, a spouse, whatever, even a child, whatever, and you just say, you know what? I can't continue doing this. It's not good for me in whatever way. They understand, okay? They understand. They in spirit are not necessarily, you are, but you're not the same person as we are when we're human. Like in spirit, you're far more compassionate and understanding, and everything is about love and balance and, wanting the best for the people that they've left behind. So just understand that, okay? I think those are kind of the two things. It could literally be about marriage for some of you, and for others, it's about promises that you've made to someone that really shouldn't have been made in the first place. All right? That needs to be released and let go of. So that's something of a more negative or shadow energy for you to work on. Now, what do you need to make room for, pile 2? Technology. Oh, all right. So, planetary responsibility. Do not be over-reliant on technology, but use it to give yourself time for your personal growth. Alternatively, this card may suggest that there are more possibilities in your life that you have yet to develop. Use your time wisely and explore new possibilities. I love that. And I feel I'm going to pull right now, it ties into this new blueprints, right? A new blueprint is a revision to something, or it's a brand new blueprint, I think, of building, right? Or whatever it is. Everything has a blueprint, or it has some sort of drawing attached to it. So yeah, it's time for change. So maybe for some of you, it is time for you to develop skills. Take a course, try out a new hobby, try out a new sport, try something that you've never tried before. It could be new food, okay? Anything that's going to expand your knowledge, all right? So I think that's interesting, but also I love the message here too, because it is technology, and it's don't be too reliant on technology, but use it to give yourself time for your personal growth. So here's what I think. You could sit on TikTok and in some cases watch a lot of foolishness, or you could, I don't know about TikTok, I don't go on it very often, or you could go on YouTube and you could find self-help videos or something that you've always, maybe you want to take up knitting and crocheting. I'm a big fan of that. Maybe you want to go on and watch crocheting videos. Maybe you've decided you want to start another hobby, right? Oh, I know what I'm thinking. Sorry. Maybe you want to go on and play games that are good for your mind to keep you young and crisp and youthful and keep that, keep the cogs moving up there, right? So that is what I want to say for this message with the technology and for what you need to make room for, okay? 9 of Cups. Love it. That is where you're going to find the emotional fulfillment in your life, okay? This is, well, I'm going to read here. Happiness, vitality, optimism. I want to say joy, your emotions, everything will just feel right. Because if you're using technology to help yourself, to better yourself, to learn new things, what is better than that? Or if you actually take courses to learn new things, what is better than that? Okay? Because it makes us feel good. Right? It doesn't matter what age you are, but I'm tending to, I don't know, for some reason, I'm feeling older and you're kind of like, I'm not that good with my iPhone or with, but I have to have one, or with my laptop that I have, or my desktop, whatever it is. Maybe you need to go and take some classes so you feel more comfortable. All right. It can be something as simple as that, but it's what brings you joy. Okay. 9 of Cups here. And this is pretty much you having it all. All right. So I love that. Now, what do you need to avoid? We have the Pleiadians, unconditional love, excitement, laughter. Now, of course, because you have to understand they don't want you to avoid unconditional love, excitement, or laughter. It's the opposite of that. They don't want you to not have that in your life, okay? With the High Priestess, love it. Here we go. So what do they want you to avoid? They want you to avoid, oh, this is packed full here. Not having laughter and love and peace in your life. They don't want you to be someone who doesn't get excited about things. You know, it's just the same old humdrum. They don't want that for you. They want it to be happy. They want you to avoid the opposite of these things, right? So I love that. And with the High Priestess, it's using your intuition. They don't want you to just make decisions based on what other people say or what other people think or something that you've read. They don't want you to make decisions based on your ego only. They want you to use your intuition, listen to your inner voice. We all have inner wisdom in here. It's called, you can call it many different things, your soul, your higher self, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, that's in there. And you need to trust when you are feeling a gut feeling, that's your inner wisdom speaking to you. That's your intuition speaking to you, okay? So try to work that out with ego and just your mind, your thoughts. Get a little bit of emotion in the mix here. Get your intuition, get that watery energy in there and have them working in tandem, okay? They want you to avoid not doing that, all right? So I love that message. Maybe for some of you, you have a very strong intuition and they want you to start using it. Maybe for some of you, you just aren't, you take that youthful energy on. The Pleiadians are such a happy lot. There's a woman named Braca on here, I believe. I don't know her last name or if that's the name of her channel even, but she actually channels the Pleiadians. And when she does, it's just pure happiness and joy. Seriously, you need to check it out. Braca and the Pleiadians, and you'll see, okay? Love it. Now, what opportunity should you seize or grab a hold of? So this could be something that is happening right now or something that will be coming in and they don't want you to pass it by. Contemplation, silence, knowing, releasing control. With judgment. Oh, okay. If a situation comes about, okay, in whatever area of your life where you need to exercise keeping quiet, you need to hold your tongue, okay? They want you to do that, to maybe literally not pass judgment, okay? To accept what it is that maybe you're hearing and just keep quiet. And the reason I say it like that is because these messages come out to help you when you get into that situation where you want to lash out or lash back at someone and say something back. And they're saying, you know what? Silence is the key here to where you will come out on top. And when that situation happens, remember this reading and you're going to know right then, if I keep quiet, that doesn't mean you're backing down or giving in. You're going to know in the situation, okay? If it's not happening already, you will know that, you know what? Silence here is the best policy, all right? The other thing, knowing. If you find yourself in a situation where you are sure about the decision being made or the decision that needs to be made, you have a strong intuition. Your gut is telling you, do it this way or don't do this. Whatever your gut is telling you, it is trusting it. Seize it and grab a hold of it. Don't let it go. Don't let your ego take over here, okay? They kind of can tie together a little bit. Same with the silence. Don't let your ego take over. You just will silence is the best policy here. Releasing control. I kind of feel like it can even come back up here maybe a little bit, but again, a situation or with a person where, you know what, you just need to let it go. Okay, as hard as it may be to just let it go, that's what needs to happen. Again, it's not about passing the judgment. This is really about you being the bigger person, I want to say, in any of these situations. And maybe you need to take a little time out for some contemplation before you respond or release, or the silence might be you taking a little bit of time out, right? Before you make the decision about whatever it is or how you're going to deal with it. But this is you. I want to say it's like you rising up. It's you being the bigger person. It's you tuning in to your high priestess, to your intuition, to spirit, I don't know what it was. One day I was like, well, what would Jesus do? It's that kind of thing. And you don't have to be Christian. Jesus was an ascendant master, the same as Buddha and all the tons of other, oh my heavens, ascended masters. I never can remember all their names when I'm doing readings, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, like what would Buddha do? You can say it for anyone, right? But yeah, or Mother Mary is an ascendant master. So what would Mother Mary do? It's kind of that thing. And that's what I think the Judgment card represents here. It's like Spirit saying, you know what, we need you to rise above here. We need you to be the bigger person. So when the opportunity comes up for you to take one of these paths, do it. It will benefit you in the end. Spirit doesn't bring these messages through because they're not going to be helpful to you. They're bringing it through so that when it happens, maybe you don't react in a way that you would have reacted like in the past, I guess. Okay, so let's bring the new blueprints card out. I'm liking that because I feel like, again, this would be a new way of doing things. This is you like rewiring and revamping yourself, but it can, it can fit into many. Maybe it's going to be a new blueprint for your relationships, or by you being able to get grounded. What a change that's going to make in your life for you to be able to come full circle, for you to take on new hobbies, courses, whatever, to learn something, to avoid using your intuition. There's new blueprints that can be laid for all of this. Now let's just get 2 more oracles here, pile 2. Loving this reading for you. And it is bloom where you are planted. I love that card. That's come out before. So, you know what? When you know better, you do better. That's the way I think of this, okay? You have an opportunity here, for example, because this will be an opportunity for you because something good will come of it. Do we know yet what it is? No, because it's going to be a different situation for everyone. But it's a chance for you to bloom, for you to shine. Think of that in each one of these situations. Where can you bloom and shine here? Where can you be the big, beautiful flower, all right, that people pass by and go, oh my God, that's gorgeous, right? That's what that's about. You want to be that person. Okay, pile 2, let's get in here and get another card. Celebration. Celebrate your achievements. You truly are a gift to the universe. Well, I love that because you will be celebrated, okay? They want you to celebrate yourself, but the universe, if you're able to follow some of the advice and guidance that's been given here, they will celebrate you as well. And that is with good things. Those are your messages, pile 2. I hope that you enjoyed them. If you need to have some other readings to hold you over until next month, until you can get a look at your Zodiac Taroscope readings, go in. I have playlists. If a message, a video calls to you, then watch it. There's probably a tidbit of information in there for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again soon. Hi to those of you who chose pile 3, this card, healing. Okay, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be going through a number of questions here with Tarot and Oracle. There's going to be some great advice or guidance. I'm going to set this to the side. We'll see if it ties back into the reading. They usually do end up doing that, so I love it. But let's get right in. You know, pile 3, there's no point of beating around the bush here. Let's get right in. A challenge or challenges you may face. And again, this could be going on now. It could be happening in a few days, weeks. I usually go out to about 3 months for my timeline. That's what I set. Okay, so let's look at challenges you may face. Primal fear. Ooh, okay. Reptilian. With temperance. Oh, I love it. Okay. So, pile 3. Is there something in your life? Okay, let's just talk about primal fear here, okay? Primal fear is that fear where it's almost like survival instinct, right? Where it's fear that goes right to your core, like it's threatening your existence or your being in some way. If you have something like that, if you are feeling like that in some way, I'm saying right now, please call on spirit. That's God, source, universe, whomever it is for you, okay? For help, to bring you a sense of peace, to help you deal, because everything's rooted, right? So what is that fear rooted in? What causes you to feel that fear? They want you here with the Temperance card to be able to balance and heal that, okay? I feel like this is, look, it's a 2 and an 8. I love it. It's a 10. That means completion. It's time for this to come to an end. Okay. Now this again can show up in any area of your life or in different ways. It could be something that is going to happen, a situation, an event, a person that could be coming in, and it's going to cause you to go into this primal fear mode. Okay. But again, it really message strongly from spirit. It needs to be addressed. Okay. And I also want to say that if it is a situation that puts you here or a person, they want you to ask for help to remove yourself from that situation or that person. Do not mess around with trying to do it yourself. Their message is strong. Go to someone for help to move you away from that. Because if you're operating in this energy, it's not good. Your decision making will not be clear. It will not be balanced. So they're saying go and have someone help you, okay? And then it will be time to work on it and to heal it, to find the balance again. Okay, so that is a challenge you may face or could be dealing with right now. Let's move on to positive energy to embrace. We have Angels of Atlantis. This is Archangel Uriel with abundance. I love that. Believing that you're worthy. Look at all these stars shining bright, right? I feel like this is the tree of life that you can pull from. You deserve to have abundance in your life, and that can be in many different forms. Can it be you're happy with your job? You're happy with your family. You have enough money to live day to day and you're not worried about your finances. You have a vehicle that's reliable. That can be abundance for some people. It can just be literally a lot of money too. Maybe you have a wonderful collection of something and that makes you happy. I'm going to pull the tarot here with it. Okay, 8 of Pentacles, love that. Abundance comes in many different forms, okay? So that's the positive energy. Believe you deserve it. And these messages can tie together and they can be their own individuals, okay? But even back here, believing that you deserve to not live in this energy of fear. Believing that you deserve to be balanced and healed from this, okay? And with the Eight of Pentacles, I love it because normally that Eight of Pentacles means, you know what, sometimes you have to put in a little hard work for the abundance, right? That does not mean that you overwork and become a workaholic. That's not what I'm saying. But you may have to, really plant the seeds, take care of them. Like, this is what I want to achieve, and this is what I'm going to have to do to get there, and I'm willing to put in the hard work, and you ask Spirit to help you. But I love on the card, it actually says prosperity, benefits, investments, right? So this is putting in the hard work and then having it pay off, okay? But believing that you deserve that, and that you, by putting in hard work, does not mean you are down dog work and day and night and not having rest. That's not it. It's putting in the hard work, meaning you are doing your part. Okay? When you do your part, Spirit does theirs. It's a two-way street. Now, a negative or shadow energy to work on. Awe, ecstasy, Aquarius energy with the King of Pentacles. Okay. Here's what I want to say. Of course, the King of Pentacles would come out, right? I want to say the most grounded, because he's Pentacles, but just very practical, hardworking. We talked about that. But the King of Pentacles he's a leader. He's disciplined. He's sure of himself. He is, steady Eddie. And then we have Aquarius. And I have Aquarius in my chart, but sometimes Aquarius can get a little, I feel like there's a few messages here, but I'm going to start with the Aquarius one now. It's almost like that. I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum. I'm going to rebel against everything. I'm going to do this. And it's like, sometimes things can just get a little hairy, okay? With the Aquarius energy, you can maybe sometimes take it a little bit too far, as everyone can with many different things. But sometimes you can be too much of a rebel, or I don't know how to say it. I want to say your beliefs can be a little too far out there, okay? I don't know how else to explain that. I mean in a good way. I'm not saying it's crazy thinking, that's not it. But it's almost like you can take everything a little bit too far with Aquarius energy, okay? So they want you to work on that. They want you to be more like the King of Pentacles here, putting in the hard work, taking the leadership of your own life, not allowing yourself to get too far, even with awe and ecstasy, right? I'm going to go into this one next, but finishing off Aquarius here, it's like, just not taking things too far. March to the beat of your own drum, but don't try to make everyone else march with you, okay? They need to march to the beat of their own drum, all right? So just keep that in mind. The other thing is here, and just with the picture even, how to say it. So there's being grounded, right? Which the King of Pentacles is. And then there is living. Like for some people, they can, when they sleep, they may astral travel. When they partake in certain substances, they may go in and out of their body. Okay, some people don't need substances to do that, all right? Some people can just move in and out. And it's a wonderful place most of the time to be when you are out of there, so I've heard. But you can't live there. You have to live here. You're a human on earth. And I know that soul part of you may want to be out there, but because that's what it's used to. But I hope this is making sense. But you need to be in the here and now. You can't live out in that place of wonder, right? That, I don't know, out in that mystical and magical all the time. You have to come back and live here. So you may need to work on that. I know that some people, and I'm just going to say it, can abuse it. And I think that might be the message here. Okay. So don't abuse it. If you are an astral traveler or able to come in and out of your consciousness, right? So next question, what you need to make room for. And we have High Priestess. Well, that would be using your intuition. That would be living an intuitive life. To make more room for how to allow your intuition to help guide your mind, your thoughts, your ego. Let's see what it says. Intuition. This is the card of feminine power and wisdom. Do not rely on logic or rational thought at this time. If you chose the High Priestess, you are called on to use your intuition and psychic gifts. Respond to challenges from your deepest knowing, for the answers lie within. You are reminded to work with total integrity and compassion. Access your wisdom and listen to your intuition. I just want to throw in there as well, I think that your, how did they put it? Logic or rational thought. I like that because I never can usually explain it very well. Your ego, I feel they need to work together in tandem, right? They need to be partners. You need to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that to make the best decisions. But the point is, when something's coming up, if your head's telling you one thing and your intuition is telling you another, you go with the intuition. I suggest that. Look, the Fool card come out with it. This is time for you to start a new way of living, pile 3, okay? Start trusting that intuition, okay? Take the risk, right? There's potential in this for you. Don't be afraid to step off and try something new. And start small. You don't need to be out making big decisions with your intuition right away. You can start small here, pile 3, okay? Now, what do you need to avoid? We have pentagram, harmony, protection, idealism, with the 6 of Swords. Ooh. Well, one, they don't want you to be living a life where there isn't peace and harmony, okay? So they want you to avoid living an unharmonious life. Protection, I feel it's coming right back to up here in the sense of they want you to avoid being unprotected. And for whatever reason, that message came out at the beginning. If this is around a situation or a person, and you're remembering this reading, you go for help right away, okay? And you ask you ask them to help remove you from it. They want you to have protection here. They don't want you to be avoiding protection, okay? And then we have idealism, which I think is the main one for this, okay? And it's not avoiding idealism. I mean, that is great in some cases. But if it is a case where you tend to get a little lofty in your ideas or plans, okay? And maybe they get a little, grandiose. They become a little unrealistic. They want you to avoid that. They want it to be more, again, ground it down. It can kind of tie into this. We need you ground it down here. We need all points on the ground, okay? To keep it in a realistic way. And for others of you with idealism, it can also be, you're a person who is idealistic, you are optimistic and you do have dreams and you believe that they can come true. But sometimes that can turn into being a perfectionist. Again, is it an unrealistic plan or dream where, you need to bring it back to reality because you may be over planning to the point of it needs to be perfect. And we know there's no such thing as perfect, or, it just gets a little too grandiose, a little too unrealistic. It's maybe a little too lofty up in the clouds. It's realizing that, you can have a little bit of that. They want you to avoid that really with the idealism, but also to understand that sometimes things are a little rocky. You can move over to the other shore. You don't have to go into a state of things are a little bit rocky. I need to come up with a way right now to make everything perfect. or you're going to come up with this grand plan of how you're going to make it perfect. Sometimes you just need to get on the boat and go over to calmer waters. Okay. Oh, I feel like that ties in back to here too, right? You don't need to try to make it better. Okay. Love that message. Now, what opportunities should you seize or grab a hold of? So this again can be situations coming in. We have harmonic resolution. Wow, it's so funny that for this one here, it's almost like in all three piles, or at least pile 2 for sure. Or it might have been pile 1, I can't remember. Kind of the same thing. And look, the Tower. If there is a Tower moment in your life, and that is where something needs to blow up, something needs to combust, something needs to have fire set to it, not literally, figuratively here, where something needs to crash down to the ground in order to be rebuilt on a solid foundation. So if there is a situation in your life where you feel like, okay, it's starting to crumble, it may be in your best interest to let it crumble down so it can be rebuilt back on solid foundation here, okay? So that you can build it back up the way it should be built up. Now, so if that happens, I call it like a controlled burn. I've talked about this in other readings where when I was where in the heck was I? Oh yeah, going to the Grand Canyon. We were on a UTV ride to the Grand Canyon. It was so neat. But they actually do controlled burns in the forest to help minimize forest fires and how fast they spread. They burn out the underbrush, right? So that's a controlled burn, it's called. Well, I want to feel like if you have the opportunity to control the Tower, do it, okay? It doesn't need to just be all crazy and crumbling. You can control the crumble and then you can build it back up. Also, if there is a situation that you find yourself in, okay, where it's negativity, look, anger, you have the opportunity to transmute that. By transmuting, it's like you take in that energy and you're like, you know what? I refuse to be in a negative or angry energy. I'm only going to be in a positive, loving energy. You take that other energy in, you flip it, and you put it back out as love and positivity. I know it sounds hokey, but it is the truth. Just try it. Try it once and send it back to that person. You don't have to verbally send it. You can just, send it out. And, but they're saying if ever you're in a situation where there is a way to have a harmonic resolution to it, grab a hold of it. And these messages are to let you know if you're willing to grab a hold of that, it will benefit you in the end. Okay? How will it benefit you? Not really sure, because it's going to be different for everyone. But in your situation, you will know in the moment what the benefit would be. This is Spirit telling you, try to find the harmony and the peace in the situation. Don't let negativity and anger take it over. Transmute that energy and turn it into something better. So when the opportunity comes up, seize that. If you need to take control of the situation, just like you are here with the Tower, you take control of that situation until a good positive outcome is had. Okay? So those are your main messages. Let's look at healing. I love it because did it tie in? Yes. We need some healing here, okay? We may even need, there's different areas that there needs to be some healing in. Even down here with the harmonic resolution, you know what? That's healing. Sometimes, when you have big grandiose dreams and stuff like that, you know what? It can be hurtful when they don't turn out the way you had planned. There may be healing that needs to be involved here when you go from what was a little uncomfortable over to a better place. All right. So just keep that in mind. We're going to get 2 more oracles here for you, pile 3, and then we will be done. But I like this reading for you. Like I said, they can all tie together. They can also be individual messages, and you take them how they apply to your life, right? Because everybody's situations will be different. You don't try to make it fit. You could come in here and just one set of these cards could be your message, or some of you have come in and maybe you're finding a little bit of something in all of them. Fulfill your destiny as a cosmic change maker. I love it. You can make a change here. You can make a change. You can make changes in all of these areas. So they're saying, fulfill your destiny as a cosmic change maker. You know what? You change what needs to be made. It's going to benefit you in the end. And that is what Spirit, your guides, right? Your angels, whomever it is, that's what they want for you. Okay, let's get one last card. I love reading with these. I call them my universe decks, but freedom. Follow your heart and nurture your soul with love and freedom to grow. I love that. Okay, it's freedom from this fear energy. It's freedom from believing that you aren't worthy. You know, it's freedom to make good. It's good to be idealistic at times, but maybe a little planted more on firm, solid ground. You know, it's the freedom of once this comes down, you can rebuild it the way it needs to be done. Finding resolution in an angry, negative situation, right? Taking the new step, using your intuition here. Pile 3, this is your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you are looking for other readings, I have playlists. Go in and check them out if you're called to one. The timing really doesn't matter on it because these are timeless messages. If you see it and you're drawn to it, there's probably a message in there for you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in your next reading.